No way. Guys like Yates don't retire. He can pretend he's going to be a full-time winemaker, but if he's leaving Morgan Yates and Cohn, it's because he has a better offer.
He's a founding partner in the most powerful law firm on earth. How'd you top that?
All I know is he's been burning the midnight oil, and he's not prepping for a case. Yates isn't winding down, he's gearing up. Some kind of private consultant job, perhaps? Mafia consigliere? Papal advisor?
Honestly, if Don Yates walks into a church, I'm fairly sure he'll burst into flames.
Is everything all right?
Valentina must be over the moon about Don stepping down. She's been living alone here for, what, 6 years? Ever since the scandal that ruined her career.
Are you kidding? That's the perfect marriage.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble of finely aged cynicism, but the Yateses are genuinely crazy about each other. They're the proverbial power couple. Valentina was always Don's most trusted advisor and vice versa. Some say she's the brains behind some of his most famous court strategies.
Huh. Talk about insult to injury.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's just that one of Yates's clients is the rival to the Semaphore phone company, which got exposed in the data leak that ruined Valentina's career. In fact, Yates would have lost his first high-profile case had it not happened. I guess her loss was his gain.
Huh. Didn't know about that. Well, I guess if they can survive that, they can survive anything.
Except retirement.
Don't you remember? It was a huge scandal. One of those whatever gates.
Doesn't ring a bell. So, Mrs. Yates was a career diplomat.
Oh, yes. An international superstar. She was the Argentinian ambassador to Norway, then Israel, and then China. But her office was involved in some sordid back-channel deal. Cell phone surveillance, I think, and when the story broke, Mrs. Yates was thrown under the bus. Her whole career down the drain in an instant. That's why she moved back here. Nothing else to do, what with Mr. Yates still going full steam.
Ah, it's tough. But, I suppose she made her bed.
At least, she's still her husband's closest advisor. Some say she's the brain behind many of his boldest court strategies. Yes, those two are quite the power couple.
Mr. Yates has always stayed in the brownstone in Brooklyn. This climate never did agree with him.
Madam seems happy to have him around more. None of them are built for country life. They are fast-lane people, cosmopolitans. She was a career diplomat, ambassador to China before that incident.
She's adjusted well enough. The vineyard is a childhood home after all. But Mr. Yates, the man is like a small planet. He enters a room and kind of just sucks up all the oxygen. Then, other times, you barely notice him. The other day, I was cleaning the drawing room and suddenly he was just there, sitting in the corner like a big fat spider. Never even heard him come in.
Stop! You're freaking me out.
I suppose it's the power. My mother worked for men like Yates, and she always said that power takes physical form. She swore that you can even smell it on their clothes.
That's just bourbon. I like him. Mr. Yates is an old-school gentleman. Ruthless to his enemies, generous to his friends. A man of his word.
Mr. Yates is a man of many words. There's a difference.
Awful shame what happened. It was the most charming little village. Almost made it onto the UNESCO World Heritage List. Must have been some rainfall.
Yes. Terrible, terrible shame. I blame climate change. Nothing we at the Mendoza Local Council could have done about it, of course. Man plans and God laughs and all that.
So you don't think the construction of a brand new dam right on the other side of the village might have had anything to do with the flooding? The dam that conveniently redirects the underground water flow to this very vineyard, bypassing the local ban on irrigation. The very same dam that was donated by a foreign benefactor whose name is lazily Yates in reverse.
Nonsense. Mr. Sete is an honest businessman, and Mr. Yates is a pillar of the community. He would never think to break the rules. He, a gentleman of the law. You should be ashamed of yourself, ma'am. Good day to you.
I take it.
It's a nice gesture, but a bit hubristic, wouldn't you say? He's not even been appointed yet.
Caution and modesty has never been Don Yates' style. Did you see the wine list?
I'm more of a beer man myself, but if Yates wants to bring the heralds closer together and play the modern boss, I don't actually mind. Edwards always was a bit aloof.
Plus, he has good reason to be confident. He is Edward's closest legal advisor. Not even Thomas Cross or Eugene Cobb had a direct line of contact. I'd say Yates is at the top of a very short list.
So, how do you feel about Burnwood?
How do you think? She and her friends killed Yamazaki, Cassidy, probably Bronson. How is she fit to be a herald? But on the other hand, people defect all the time, and she's most certainly qualified.
True. The Constant knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean we have to like it.
Lots of people have mixed feelings about retirement. That's probably it.
Yates loves a good party. Plus, everyone knows he's not actually retiring. Guys like him never do. It was that letter earlier. He was all smiles up until then. Something about a late addition to the guest list.
Burnwood, Diana. Who's she?
Not a clue. But Yates doesn't usually get upset with people. He just gets hungry.
I'll run an ID check. It's probably an ex-lover.
So, what's your take on Yates?
Charismatic, commanding, verbose like a Victorian novel. But all that's just a courtroom facade. He wants you to think he's all bark. Many a young plucky attorney has made that mistake. But behind that carefully crafted bon vivant exterior is a slick, backstabbing little sewer rat who'd never fight a battle that he hasn't already won.
Huh. Anything you don't like about him?
Don Yates is an opportunistic crony. He doesn't give a toss about Providence or what we stand for. The man has no convictions. All he cares about is power. That might have been up to code with the partners. Complacent fat cats just conserving the status quo. Edwards is different, though. A true visionary. Don't know what he sees in Yates, but the man is rarely wrong.
Rarely?
The vote is still out on you.
I was an attorney. For 4 decades I served the law. Now, I serve something far grander. I serve the land, and the land of Mendoza longs to make wine.
I grew up here. These majestic plains were my playground, and returning here to pick up the mantle of my ancestors feels just incredibly profound.
Our goal here at Vignetta Yates is simple. From our state-of-the-art winemaking facility to our carefully nurtured grape stock, hand-picked with loving care by local experts, we have only one purpose: to make the best wines in Argentina and beyond. Take a good look at this woman. What do you see? A monster? Revolutionary fanatic? Violent extremist? You should. You should take a good, hard look at this graceful woman with the ensuringly professional demeanor and imagine her hands soaked in the blood of your colleagues, including my friend and business partner, Ken Morgan. A bloody trail of carnage and destruction ending with the partners themselves and Arthur Edwards, our superior, the new supreme head of Providence, is giving her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Yes. That should get their blood flowing. This isn't going away, my love. It falls on me as constant to protect Providence against all threats, even his bad decisions.
So let's treat this like a court case. Say Burnwood is a material witness to the prosecution and you need to get rid of her. Walk me through your strategy.
Best course of action is blackmail. I've called in one of the firm's junior partners to dig up some dirt. If Burnwood has a weakness, we will find it.
If not?
Then Corvo gets to earn his 7 figures a year. Burnwood suffers an accident. Convincing, but not too convincing. And the blame falls on her rogue assassin with a whimsical M.O.
That might fool the heralds, but not Edwards. He could even be using her to test your loyalty.
Yes, that is the crunch.
Perhaps we're looking at this the wrong way. Perhaps it is less about the witness and more about putting together just the right jury.
What are you thinking?
The heralds. You said so yourself. They lost plenty of colleagues to Burnwood and her cohorts. I am sure they would agree to back your story with Edwards, if properly nudged. Say, by a crackerjack trial lawyer with a knack for stirring monologues.
Hi there.
This would even strengthen their fealty to you as constant. Nothing commands loyalty like culpability.
Yes, I like it. I like it profoundly. I will get right to work on my closing statement. Thank you, my love. I truly would be lost without you.
And don't you forget it.
All right, you're on the clock, Aaron. Dazzle me. What do you got on Burnwood, Diana?
Well, I'm fairly certain she was a handler in the ICA. Her name doesn't feature in any of the publicized documents, but I figure if she somehow covered her tracks...
Old news. I don't care if you can place her at the grassy knoll. What I want to know about is her involvement in the 1% killings, starting with our clients. Details, please. The gorier, the better.
The militia attacks? Say, what is this really about, Mr. Yates? And how did we come across all this information? I mean, who created this file? It's straight out of a Jack Sparta novel.
Do you want to make senior partner in Morgan, Yates, and Cohn one day, Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Then I don't need to finish this sentence. Get to it. Mr. Edwards, Don Yates, I have received your letter. I merely called to express my regrets that you were not able to make it to the party. Rest assured that I will extend our new herald the warmest of welcomes. A most shrewd and sagacious move on your part, bringing her into the fold. I have the utmost confidence that Miss Burnwood will prove a valuable addition to the group. Feel free to call me at your leisure. Have a good day. Machine? Since when do I get the machine? He can't be serious. He just can't. It's unseemly.
How many times will you reread that thing before you believe your own eyes, darling? Or are you trying to scare the letters away?
Just listen to this. I am making a new addition to the Herald team. Diana Burnwood, former ICA. Please consider her my representative.
At your celebration, yours truly, Arthur Edwards. Yes, we've been over this, Dawn.
Can you believe it? This is the woman who waged bloody war on Providence. She is involved in the deaths of countless heralds and operatives, including Ken, our friend Valentina. Has Edwards lost his faculties? This woman will surely be our downfall.
This woman cleared his path to the top. Is it any wonder that he wants to keep her close?
The partners. You don't think he...
Immaterial, darling. Why don't we take a stroll? The air will do you good.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
We'll figure this out, Dawn. You and I. We always do.
Where was I? Ah, yes. We need to act, my friends, swiftly and boldly, and in accordance with the integrity of our office. You are heralds of Providence, and I, as your constant, will never flinch in the face of duty or diligence. And so I humbly ask you to follow my lead, have my back, as I will have yours. Not bad. But is the angle right? I need to think. Never a dull moment, eh, my love?
I should hope not. I didn't marry you for the rainy afternoons curled up on the couch. I'm in it for the thrill rides.
It's been a hell of a run. The firm, built it from scratch, myself, Ken, Theo. More than 40 partners vested. Close to 500 associates. Offices on 6 continents.
Would have been 7, if only penguins weren't such law-abiding little shits.
Very true. I must admit I am not too comfortable with the idea of retirement.
You're not actually retiring, darling. Quite the opposite, I should say.
Yes, well, they don't know that, do they? Those people down there. Oh, they will be supportive. Congratulate me on my golden years ahead. But I have seen the pity in their eyes. The powerful, the infamous Don Yates, a senior citizen. Fishing hat and sandals down Florida way. No, a man is nothing without his title, my love. That is never going to change.
Fishing hat, huh? Now there's a sight.
Well, perhaps I'll add it to the repertoire. What do you got?
Let's see. Miami, Florida. Robert and Sierra Knox, CEO and CFO at robotics manufacturer Kronstadt Industries, are targeted by ICA under the noses of some 10,000 spectators during the Global Innovation Motor Race. I have the details here, Mr. Yates.
Good work. Keep it up, Aaron. First the letter, the Burnwood obstruction, now the silent treatment. What are you up to, Mr. Edwards? This is absurd. Why would he nurture a snake at his bosom? At my bosom? A test, perhaps? See.
How is your closing statement coming together?
It's almost time, my love. How do I look?
Like a prize fighter, darling. Now, don't forget you have a second speech to do. Is your welcome address ready? Our guests are getting anxious.
You know, I believe I'll wing it.
Is that so? How out of character of you.
I'm retired, remember? I don't have to wow anybody.
Okay. Who are you and what have you done with my husband?
What else, Aaron?
Sapienza, Italy. EtherCorp. Employees Silvio Caruso and Francesca DeSantis are targeted for assassination by Burnwood and her agent. In the process, a billion-dollar research project is also sabotaged. A DNA-specific virus. Take a look right here, Mr. Yates.
You're on fire, Aaron. Don't quit now. Byron Washington, my favorite client. How can I... So you heard. Yes, I was as surprised as you. Trust me, I know how you feel. My friend, your daughters, Burnwood has a hand in all of their deaths. Yes, that concerns me too, but I suppose he has his reasons. Yes, I believe we're on the same page. The cogs are already turning. I will let you know how it works out. So long, old friend. Stockholm Syndrome. Could that be it? Burnwood and her muscle kept Edwards captured for days. Who knows what took place on the ship? Now, how do I best sway the room? Edwards was their boss for years, and I'm asking them to lie to his face. I have to make them see that he is not infallible, that his obsession with Burnwood is a threat against us all. I only get one chance. No recesses, no settlements. Should I appeal to duty, to reason, emotion? If only I knew my audience better. A jury you at least get to pick by hand. What would Ken have done? When in doubt, always go low, is what he used to say. The Heralds will want retribution for the people they lost, and Edwards is standing in the way of that. Yes! That's the ticket. Words to live by, old friend. Did I ever tell you how sorry I was for what happened with Semaphore? If only I could have taken the bullet for you, I would have.
Save the schmaltz for later, darling. It's game time.
Yes, ma'am. Defense rests. What have you found out?
Janus, a retired KGB spy master, is eliminated in his adopted hometown of Whittleton Creek, Vermont, along with his bodyguard, a former Secret Service agent. This is all starting to sound pretty outlandish, Mr. Yates.
I see. Very useful, Aaron. Keep it coming. Theo, it's Don. How's the home office? Theo, how long has it been now? 4 months? You have to go outside sometime. Someone of your rare brilliance has allowed a certain degree of eccentricity, but there's a limit, Theo. The clients will start talking. Just a quick stroll on the helipad. It'll do you good. I know, but Theo, it's not like the old days anymore. Ken is gone. I'll be away. It falls on you to steer Morgan, Yates, and Cohn through this difficult transition phase and into the future. Have you at least considered anyone for senior partner? I can write you a short list. Fine. But Theo, when you do make up your mind, you have to actually speak to them, all right? You can't just slide a note under people's doors. Right, well, I gotta go, Theo. The guests have arrived. Yes, I know, elbow bumps. You be good, Theo. Bye now. He needs help. Preposterous. A serious lapse in judgment. If Edwards proves unfit for office, steps may need to be taken. Yes. Did I tell you look ravishing, Mrs. Yates?
I give it a rest, darling. You can flatter me when we're dead.
Yes, ma'am. Impress me, Aaron.
Marrakesh, Morocco. Klaus Strandberg, an investment banker under trial for billion-dollar investment fraud, and General Reza Zaidan of the Moroccan army are both assassinated, preventing a violent civic uprising and effectively thwarted a coup d'etat. Take a look right here, Mr. Yates.
Good work. Keep it up, Aaron. 3 missed calls. What has he gotten into now? Mr. West, Don Yates. I'm afraid you caught me at an inopportune... Slow down, Mr. West. I can't understand a word you're... Excuse me? Oh, Mr. West, not again. What is it with you and joggers? No, that's not how it works. We never use the same strategy twice. Not even in a different state, no. We'll just have to go for a full-blown cover-up and hope for the best. Where's the body? Buried in the woods. Okay, my guy can work with that. And did anyone see you? Oh, they did. And where are said elderly bird watchers now? In your trunk. Right. Listen here, Mr. West. I am going to turn your case over to one of our junior partners, Keith Mackenzie. He has the right sort of temperament for this kind of thing. I need to attend to my guests. Yes, best of luck, Mr. West. Bye-bye now. He needs help. Yeah. Have I ever thanked you for sticking by me all these years, Mrs. Yates?
Don't go soft on me now, darling. You have a battle to fight.
Yes, ma'am. Duly noted. What do you got?
The Gamma Medical Facility, Hokkaido, Japan. Yakuza lawyer Yuki Yamazaki, one of our Far East liaisons, is eliminated along with the ICA's training director during an experimental right-sided heart transplant. Wow. That's just the craziest thing I ever heard. I have the report right here.
You're on fire, Aaron. Don't quit now. Have I thanked you for planning this party, my love? Everything looks wonderful.
Save the schmaltz for later, darling. It's game time.
Yes, ma'am. Defense rests. What else, Aaron?
The HITMAN Hotel, Bangkok. Renowned rock star Jordan Cross is assassinated along with Morgan Yates & Cohn's senior partner, Ken Morgan. Cross's legal representative. I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Yates, I never knew. I don't suppose you want to look at this, but, well, I have the details right here.
I see. Very useful, Aaron. Keep it coming. Here's to us, Mrs. Yates. We do make a formidable team.
I give it a rest, darling. You can flatter me when we're dead.
Yes, ma'am. Impress me, Aaron.
Dubai. Marcus Stuyvesant and Carl Ingram. Two powerful but withdrawn old money scions are eliminated by Burnwood and her agent during the inauguration of the world's tallest building. This is incredible, Mr. Yates. I have the details right here.
Good work. Keep it up, Aaron. What have you found out?
Dartmoor, England. Alexa Carlyle, old money scion and head of the Carlyle Shipping Group, is assassinated during her own sham funeral. Jeez, well, this takes me back. 40+ hours of therapy and boom, it's right back to square one. I'm sorry, Mr. Yates. It's just a bit much, that's all.
You're on fire, Aaron. Don't quit now. What do you got?
Isle of Scale, the Arctic Sea. Zoe and Sophia Washington, East Coast socialites and self-proclaimed treasure hunters, are eliminated during some kind of clandestine social event. Sounds like something straight out of the conspiracy sphere, Mr. Yates.
I see. Very useful, Aaron. Keep it coming. All right. You're on the clock, Aaron. Dazzle me. What do we got on Burnwood?
She's an orphan. Parents killed by one of our clients, Blue Seed Pharmaceuticals. The experience taught her to seek justice outside the system. Would you like me to go through her records? They're quite extensive.
Well, somebody did their homework. No, just her involvement in the 1% killings. Starting with our clients. Details, please. The gorier, the better.
Well, here's one that might interest you. Janus, a retired KGB spy master, is eliminated in his adopted hometown of Whittleton Creek, Vermont, along with his bodyguard, a former Secret Service agent. The methods in question are quite ingenious. Just take a look here. Sapienza, Italy. Ether Corp employees Silvio Caruso and Francesca DeSantis are targeted for assassination by Burnwood and her agent. In the process, a billion-dollar research project is also sabotaged, a DNA-specific virus. Take a look right here, Mr. Yates.
You're on fire, Aaron. Don't quit now.
Here, Dubai. Marcus Stuyvesant and Carl Ingram, two powerful but withdrawn old money scions, are eliminated by Burnwood and her agent during the inauguration of the world's tallest building. This is incredible, Mr. Yates. Take a look right here.
Good work. Keep it up, Aaron.
Take a look here. The HITMAN Hotel, Bangkok. Renowned rock star Jordan Cross is assassinated along with Morgan Yates and Cohn's senior partner Ken Morgan, Cross's legal representative. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Yates. I don't suppose you'll want to see that. Nevertheless, I have the details right here.
I see. Very useful, Aaron. Keep it coming. Okay, let's hear it. What? You didn't even unpack yet? Christ, join the game, Aaron. I'll be back.
Mr. Yates, I have your files right here.
About time. You can set up shop in the ground floor guest room. I'll be right with you. That's just great. Just stellar work, everybody. You've really gone above and beyond here. Truly world class. Who was it then? Which of you era-defining geniuses just poured half the goddamn harvest into the drain? Please, I'm dying to know. Was it you? No? You? No one wants to own up to this visionary piece of performance art that I can only assume is a bold and poignant tribute to man's boundless stupidity. I see. Who wants to tell my wife, then? Who wants to break the news to sweet Valentina that someone took a giant piss all over her ancestral vineyard? Nobody? No volunteers to break my wife's heart? Well, what do you know? All right. Show's over, people. Clear the floor. There's no way you'll clean this mess up by hand. Oh, and somebody get Mr. Vargas a towel and a shot of horse tranquilizer. Unbelievable. How many millions? Bunch of prize idiots. First, the Burnwood thing, and now this. It's supposed to be my big day. What did I ever do to deserve this? Oh well, back into the fray. Valentina? What's wrong? You look upset.
Don, what did you do? Tell me you didn't.
Do what? I don't understand.
Semaphore, the data leak. It was you. It was you all along. So stupid. Why didn't I see it before? You leaked the document so you could win your stupid case. You didn't care that my career would be destroyed, my reputation dragged through the mud. You're Don Cojones Yates, and Don Yates never loses a case, no matter the cost.
My love, it was... I didn't mean for you to...
What did you just call me? Are you insane, Don? How can you claim to love somebody and then destroy their world with the flick of a pen?
It was just business. You know the game, Valentina. You know how it's played.
There's a limit. There is always a limit.
No, the old Valentina, she would have understood. But you've been down here for too long, my love. You've grown soft.
Bastard. How's this for soft?
No!
Don, get up. Get back up here. We're not done. I didn't mean to. Why is there no air in here?
Sí, perfecto. Senor Yates.
This is he.
This is Miguel Llosa, your chef for the evening. I am pleased to inform you that the asado fire pit has been lit and dinner is served.
Thank you. Me and my wife shall be right down. The Rutherfords. Long time no see. Ambassador, so nice to see you. Excuse me, if I can have everyone's attention, please. So, here is a question. What did Milton Friedman, Ayn Rand, and Ronald Reagan all have to say about retirement? As far as I am aware, not a damn thing. Retirement is hardly the most exciting of life stages, but it is the most terrifying. Why? Because the proverbial golf course is the last stop before the morgue? Why, no. If anything, we are larger in death. Death holds no fear for the great, the accomplished. No, my friends, the thing that scares me is not the death of Don Yates, but the death of Don Yates, attorney at law. The disintegration of the professional self. Retirement is an existential void, and that is why I am retiring. It is the final frontier, the ultimate rite of passage. It is an abyss into which I must gaze. Luckily, thanks to my beautiful wife, Valentina, I am a man with a hobby. And I intend to make the most of it. So drink my wine, eat and rejoice in the knowledge that no matter how high you ascend, how much you accomplish, the greatest fight is yet ahead. Thank you all, and welcome. Ah, yes. On behalf of our asado chefs, the wonderful Yosa brothers, I am delighted to tell you that dinner is served. Bon appetit! Ah, Raul. Delighted you could make it. Valentina, I don't believe you have met Raul Salazar, special advisor to the Pope, longtime client.
Ah, yes. It was you who kept my husband up all night for the better part of a year.
Yes, a most unfortunate matter. Some believe it would have been 1054 all over again. We were most pleased with the services of your firm.
Oh, I really cannot take credit. It was Ken who led the defense team.
Ah, yes, Mr. Morgan. I was saddened to hear the news about his passing.
It was a terrible loss to myself and the firm. Ken truly was a giant.
Don and I adopted his dog, Pickles. Charming little creature. We brought him down here. Thought the country air would do him some good. Unfortunately, he was run over by a grape picker.
Yes. Apparently, you can bring the dog out of the city, but you can't bring the city out of the dog.
I see. So, with you retiring, Morgan Yates and Cohn are down to one founding partner who, if rumors are true, has not left his office for months? Should I be worried, Mr. Yates?
Far from it. We have over 40 partners vested, cream of the crop. Rest assured that you are in the best of hands. Now, if you'll excuse us, Raul, enjoy the party. Finger licking good. The Devereaux, looking younger every time.
And how are you today, sir?
The Yosa brothers do not disappoint. Superb. Mr. Reinhardt, so glad you could make it. Delectable. Chancellor, don't you look marvelous?
I could be a wanker.
Savory. Exquisite. Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
That's exactly it.
I've never been more in love with you.
And so we arrived to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945 Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Why don't you take a break, Corvo? We're done here for now, I think. Oh, but don't go too far. I may still need your services later.
I'll be closer than you think.
Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
Ah, here comes Mr. Yates now. Perfect timing.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system, effectively and reliably transmitting the decrees of the brain to the body and limbs of our great organization. And I am delighted that so many of you were able to join me today, despite your busy schedules, and celebrate my retirement from the world of law and imminent instatement as the third constant of Providence. Make no mistake, I have 2 formidable sets of shoes to fill, but I am athirst to pick up the mantle.
They're already at it. Go on, place the wine on the table. I'll pour it.
Decant.
Pardon me, Your Majesty.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system, effectively and reliably ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier. I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin, one of only 5 bottles in existence. The vintage is legendary, the proverbial unicorn wine. The year was hot, the wine's super concentrated, and thanks to hail and frost, the production was small. Only 300 bottles were ever produced. And when the vineyard was bombed during the closing days of World War II, only a single crate survived. It is said to have amazingly complex aromas with long, savory layers of fruit and spice flavors, and a silky texture. Enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Feel free to stick around in case our guests have questions. This wine was gifted to me by the Arch Society in acknowledgement of my firm's legal services. It stands as a powerful reminder that Providence draws its strength not from force, but from partnership. We are but a few, and yet together we are unstoppable because we stand united. My friends, loyalty is everything, which is why we cannot allow traitors into our ranks.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
This woman has waged bloody war on us. More than a dozen heralds and operatives dead. Your colleagues and clients, my friend, Ken Morgan. Not to mention the partners themselves, our founders, our benefactors. Make no mistake, this woman's hands are soaked in blood. Our blood. And Arthur Edwards, the new supreme head of Providence, is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Does that sound like loyalty?
Absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Perhaps Edwards simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Don.
Gotta be kidding me.
You're lying, of course. Which only proves my point. You cannot be trusted, Miss Burnwood. This woman will be our downfall. That is, unless we take matters into our own hands. You are heralds, sworn to protect Providence against all threats, including inside ones. I have devised a plan. Together we can make it work, but you have to decide now, my friends. Are you with me?
I'm in.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Listen to yourselves. Don Yates is not even appointed constant yet, and already he conspires to betray his master. I don't pretend to understand Edward's every move, but I do know that this man is an opportunist and unworthy of office.
Then you are a traitor to the heralds. The room is against you, Tamara. Stand down now or share her fate.
Edwards will hear about this.
I think not. I am sorry, but you brought this on yourself. Mr. Cortazar? Escort Miss Burnwood to my office. I'll join you shortly.
Right. Move it. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not
We need to get our story straight. Diana Burnwood died today by the hand of her rogue Agent 47. Tamara Vidal, who saw through the assassin's disguise, was, alas, killed as well. This is what you will all attest to.
I'm in.
Yes.
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 I'm in.
A toast, then, in her honor. Savor the taste, because you never will again. And let me remind you, we are in this together. One goes down, we all go down. Here's to loyalty.
To
Loyalty.
Valentina, it worked. Yes, they all back my plan. Your plan. Cortazar will dispose of Burnwood, and Corvo is staging the crime scene, with all the heralds backing my story. Edwards will have no reason for doubt. As always, I owe it all to you, my love. Looks like a beautiful day after all. Yes, see you in a while. It's Yates. Listen, I can't be absolutely sure, but I think I saw something. A man, tall, Caucasian, head-shaven, generically handsome. You know, like a mannequin? Anyway, he was dressed as staff, but he was definitely not one of mine. And when he noticed me looking at him, he got up fast and slipped into the crowd. So you might want to keep an eye out for intruders. Like I pay you to? Right. See that you do. And now they're looking for an assassin. Like they say, the devil's in the detail. Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. I repeat, Plan B is a go. Start prepping the crime scene like we discussed. Remote, staged accident. Cortazar will bring the package. Get it done. Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. I repeat, Plan B is a go. Start prepping a crime scene, like we discussed. Remote, staged accident. Oh, and Corvo, make it for two. Just improvise. Miss Burnwood.
You rolled out the red carpet just for me? Don, you shouldn't have.
So confident, even in defeat. I suppose you're not used to danger, always safe behind your screens. Just tell me one thing before we part ways.
Why me?
Why you? Why would Edwards trust you? Please. It will keep me awake at nights, and I'm 65. I get up 4 times to piss as it is.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap. By the way, you were right about one thing.
Yeah? I'm all ears.
Turns out this woman will be your downfall.
What are you doing, you asshole?
Ah, crap.
Shoot her! Stand there! Shoot her!
What was that racket?
If it's any consolation, your instincts were dead on. I will be constant now. And I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. Finish it.
Such a good boy.
Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately.
Don't let my wife find me like this. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier. I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin. One of only 5 bottles.
Stage fright, Mr. Flowers? Well, it's only the most expensive bottle of wine in existence. No introduction needed, I suppose. Moving on. Is this really the best use of your time? Or mine, for that matter? If you're going to attempt to choke a man, then have the decency to do it quickly or not at all. Listen to me. I'm an older man, a retiree now, in fact. Whatever threat you believe I pose is entirely in your own mind. I'm just trying to enjoy my twilight years in peace with my wife. That's it. So this is it. Outmaneuvered. By Burnwood, I assume. I would be embarrassed if I wasn't about to die.